Welcome back to the StarkKommandCenter. Welcome, whatever date it is for you on Earth and the others in the Vollis Galaxy. I'm here to bring to your attention a lot of things. This will be mostly a political episode, so get your thinking caps off for this one. And now, the first thing I would like to mention before I get to anything else that will then be aforementioned at the end of this broadcast is that in the last stream that I did, I mentioned that I had paid an investigator to look into my assassination attempt against my life. And the investigator I paid a lot of money came up with the fact that maybe I don't exist. And we were debating this on the very episode with my listeners. And I just want to say that stop debating it, because I found a loophole that says if I don't exist, then I don't have to pay the man all that money. So we're going to go with that I don't exist. That way, don't have to pay for it. So just stop debating. Don't worry about it. And delete every comment you made about it. It's all good. So that's where that lands. Now, before I get on to this, to further the political stress of the political life, politically inclined to speak on, I think I should first go to commercial and get all this out of the way first.
Those of you on Earth, don't forget to get your holographic explosive Christmas decorations this year. Yeah, these will guarantee you any trespassers will go out with a bang. Order them now. Shipping is going to be a lot less if you order within the next month. And remember, folks, if you don't get a bang, an explosion, aka death, in the first 7 weeks of our services, you'll get all of your money guaranteed back. So call now. Order explosive Christmas decorations to keep the trespassers out. They'll never see it booming.
Okay, as usual, commercials get on my nerves. That's nothing new. So basically, a very unfortunate situation, and as well as the commercial too, both unfortunate situations. I got to get to this, and I might as well just go get right to it. Some of you know, some of you don't. Some of you know nothing, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. I was trying to run for president of the United States. I have a dual citizenship in Minnesota, the United States of America, Earth, and of course I live in the Vollis Galaxy where I'm doing this broadcast. I have had to drop out of the race. I couldn't beat the loopholes. I couldn't beat it. The problem is I am not 35 yet, so I can't run. I tried everything in the book and everything outside of the book, and I couldn't. Books suck anyways. I could not get in the race, and I couldn't win against the other candidates because of that very reason, because of my age, unfortunately. So, yes. However, this broadcast here, we're going to look back at everything I've tried to do for this country, the ideas I was trying to put out there, and great things that I was going to do for this country until the rules came into play. And I'll just discuss a few more that I never got to on my previous campaign ads and interviews. And, this basically goes to superpowers I have and secrets that I'm going to share with the universe, because I give you exclusives on this program. You know this, and if you don't know this and this is your first time watching, well, now you do know this. So this is known. So I'm going to go through my notes here. The first power that I have is mind control. That's right. I have perfected the sport of mind control. And I've only done it once, yes, but I'm going to share my anecdote with you guys. And hopefully those of you on the Earth and the Vollis Galaxy can apply this in your lives when it comes in handy and use it yourself. So I'll give you this story of what happened. So I was at work one day, and those of you who don't know, I have 8 jobs. This is one of them. I was at work one day, okay, it was on my lunch break. And on that lunch break, I was sitting with a really nice guy, and he gave me a sandwich. Okay, and that was really nice of him, so he gave me the sandwich. And as he did that, I saw in his lunch bag he had a couple more of them, right? So I was eating the sandwich. I was enjoying it. It was a great sandwich, and I was very honest and upfront about that. And once I was done eating it, in my head, I go, oh my gosh, I want another one. He has more. I want another one of them. I do. So how do I do this? So then I thought, what if I could mind control and use that to effectively take over his mind and control it to have him give me another sandwich? So I said, this sandwich is so good. I'm not going to say his name on air. I said, this is so good. This is delicious, sir. And I said, yeah, this, you know what you did with the mayonnaise and what you did with the bologna? Oh, delicious. And he's just listening, nodding his head. And I go, I've had many sandwiches in my life, but this one might be the very best. And no maybes about it. It is the very best sandwich. And I've had a couple thousand, I'm exaggerating, and he nods his head. And I said, yeah. Oh man, the seasoning you did on this sandwich, delicious. I've never had better. Very good sandwich, sir. Delicious. I love it. This is a great sandwich. This is an excellent sandwich. This sandwich I'm eating right now has had a monumental impact on the course of my life. I said it is delicious, and that's an understatement. And it's so good. I can't stop thinking about this sandwich that I just ate. Thank you, and I hope I don't stop reminding you how thankful I am, because that's all I can do is talk right now since I had that sandwich, and I already had my portion of my lunch I brought from my house. Your sandwich is so delicious. I can't stop thinking about it. It was so good, and I appreciate you sharing it with me. So I kept going with my witty banter, and eventually, would you believe it or not, he reached in his lunchbox, he grabbed a sandwich, and he gave it to me. He gave me another sandwich. No words were spoken, just a glare. I mean, I don't know if it was angry or something, but some people look angry naturally. But he gave me his sandwich. That has to be mind control. And so, I hate to say it. I guess that's not really teaching how I use my power of mind control. But hey, hopefully, people listening can study that, observe what I did, and use it to their advantage, and use mind control in your real life. Whatever it is you need to use it for, and apply it there. And yeah, so that's one power I have. Wanted to share that. I never did get to that on my campaign interviews, unfortunately, running for president of the United States. But that was one of the things that I would have gotten into. So look at my notes here. The next one, oh, beautiful. So another exclusive I am going to give the audience. So I found out, what if I told you this? What if I told you time traveling is a real thing that you can do? I looked into this, and would you believe it? I can prove it with factual information, actual information, okay? Imagine having a problem, and you need to go back in time to fix it. This in war. Think about it in war. Think about when you're having a fallout with your friends, you're breaking up with your boyfriends, girlfriends, your relatives, and you're going through turmoil. Imagine having the power to go back in time to fix all that. And so, yeah, here's what I found out. So I'm going to show you the exclusive right here. Sort of. Okay. Yeah. Let me try turning the brightness down a little bit here. Let's see if will that suffice? Okay. Okay, I don't know if you could read that or not, but nonetheless, less than none, I will keep continuing on. So what you have to do to go back in time, okay? If you go across the state borders from Las Vegas Idaho to Nevada, you will go back an hour of time. That's right. You will go back in time a full hour. That is 60 minutes, according to the Dewey Decimal System. 60 minutes. Do you understand that? An hour. Imagine what you could, if you screw up, you have an hour of time to go back and fix it. Can you imagine that? You get fired from your job, go back an hour. Okay? So all you have to do, you have to cross that state line, and an hour of time is granted back to you. Time traveling exists. Okay? And that once again, you get the exclusives from Captain Stark from the StarkKommandCenter. You can go back in time. Imagine how many things you can change with that. And I'm the first one to discover this. And once again, I give it to you for free as exclusives on my show, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody listening, any organism out there listening. Imagine time travel. Any problem you come up with, just go back an hour and fix it. You know, do what you got to do, man. There's so many things that need to be fixed in someone's life personally. Go back in time. I showed you how to do it, okay? You got a problem? Go cross that border, okay? Cross that border physically, literally, and cross that border emotionally before you lose it, okay? And that's what I'm showing you here. You know, you get the exclusives from me. So there, I just showed you how to go back in time. No other news anchor has ever shown you this, but I do, because I care. I care about my organisms out there. And then the next power, this one, very interesting. Very interesting. What if I told you this? What if I told you you could have unlimited money? Huh? Oh, yeah. I see some heads turning. Well, I see my head turning. I can't actually see a physical audience, but I'm assuming that the heads would be turning in an audience that I could see. Now, back to this stuff. So, you know, to have unlimited money, you're already wondering, how does this work? How do you do this? You know, do I fix my taxes? No, you don't do anything with that. What you do is, there's a store, and this is in the Vollis Galaxy. Sorry, those of you on Earth in the Milky Way galaxy. Sorry. In the Vollis Galaxy, there is a store on the second moon, okay? Right on the border of the Vollis Galaxy and the Galaxy Way, or excuse me, the Milky Way galaxy, right on the border. But the second moon, okay, there is a store. You can't miss it. There is a store, okay? And this store is the only store in the Vollis Galaxy that sells antiques. And this antique store, or excuse me, non-lethal antiques, I should have mentioned that. Pardon me. Non-lethal antiques. And would you believe these non-lethal antiques come with a little thing I like to call a cheat? I discovered it. I give the exclusives. Okay, how do you get unlimited money? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. They have a store policy. You know what that store policy is? The minimum return for a product is $2 granted to the customer. Or, sorry, I'm converting my money to Earth, you know, to the Earth currency in the United States. Pardon me. Once again, I have listeners in the Vollis Galaxy and all over the universe as well. So, but I'm using Earth terminology, even though you guys can't go there, you know, most of you. But, you know, regardless, we're going to stick with that. So $2 is the minimum return that they can give you on a product, okay? So I found out something. They have a product there for 49 cents. Buy it for 49 cents, bring it back to the store for a return. The minimum they can give you is $2. You know what that means? You get $1.51. Buy it again, 49 cents, return it, they have to give you $2. Buy it again for 49 cents, return it, you have to get $2. Right there, it's already something, and it's and it's going to keep going. There you go. Unlimited money. I showed you how to do that. Use that when you're in a crisis, when you're in a crunch, you want to improve buy nicer things in life for your families and whatnot, or buy selfish things. You can now have unlimited money thanks to exclusives I give you on the StarkKommandCenter. You are very welcome. Okay? Unlimited money. Yeah, no other politician tells you that, but I did, even though I'm out of the race now for running for president of the United States 2016. I still give you stuff. And now the other candidates they're going to use that I taught this now. They're going to use that to their advantage. They're going to pretend they came up with it. Okay, but whatever. What can you do? I still give it to you, because if I didn't, no one else would. Or maybe I'm just the only one who found this out. There you go. A loophole. Second moon. Do it. Unlimited money. That's going to come in handy. Okay. Now, the very last thing I want to tell you guys about, another little cheat, not so much a power. This one's a cheat, but a very, very beautiful one. What if I told all my listeners out there of all organisms, you could have unlimited ammo? Woo. We've heard of this one before. Video games, folklore. We've heard of this before. We've all heard of this before. Okay, well, do you want to know how you do it? Well, I'm going to tell you how I do it, or else I wouldn't have mentioned it in most cases. So what you do here is there is a store online. Once again, Vollis Galaxy, sorry, Earthlings, doesn't apply to you. I'm very sorry, unless you come here. But there is a store online, okay? And the name of the store is okay, and I'm probably not pronouncing it 100% accurately, because in order to do this, you actually have to have 3 rows of teeth, okay? And shout out to the Dinosaurs out there, that they run the store, and the Vollis Galaxy, they run that store. Very nice store. I bought a lot of products from them, but I found a loophole, okay? I found it for unlimited ammo, okay? So I thought, okay, the prices are a little bit high on these bullets, okay? So I thought, let me look into something here, okay? And when looking into things doesn't help, I try and find excuses. So what I did was I looked, and there's a customize your order option online. I did that again, even more stronger. And then, would you believe this? I found out that you can type in the number you want to order for that ammo. Okay. Oh, that I know, doesn't sound like much, does it? My listeners out there. Cool. I'll give you that. You know what you do? I looked this up. I went through all the regulations of the site, and as long as it is a number that is known in the history of mathematics, you can use it. So I said, oh, okay. So I tried it, and it worked. I typed in pi. That's right. I did the pi symbol. Okay. You type in the pi symbol, and it has to equate that number that you type in to customize your order. The customer is always right, and it's a very strict, stern system in that it goes by. So you know what happens, folks? I type in pi, I give them my address to deliver to, and pi is an unlimited number, okay? You can ask anybody, this is a fact. It's an unlimited number, and it keeps going, keeps branching off in little tiny decimals and fractions and whatnot, but it's an unlimited number. So would you believe I get unlimited ammo, okay? I get the first 3, and then I get the next decimal, and then the next one, and then the next one. So it's pieces, but it is unlimited. It will never stop coming till the end of time, okay? You understand me? Unlimited ammo in small fractions pieces, but that is still unlimited ammo. That's right. I gave you that exclusive. You wouldn't have learned about this anywhere else in the entire universe, and if you did, okay, cool, but you learned it from me first, and that's what matters. It's a race. So I won this race, particularly this one. That is what I am here to do. Give you the exclusives, teach you things that can help you, guide you in ways that I can possibly guide you somehow, and there you go. Unlimited ammo. I bet you weren't expecting that. So there you go. Pi, awesome. And both kinds of pi are awesome. So there you go. Those are things that I was saving for my next one, but I didn't make it because there's no way to beat the system. You have to be 35 years old at minimum, and I am not 35, so I can't do it. Very, very sad. I would have done great things for the country. The rest of this broadcast is going to be about my history, of my political history, my polistory, or my historical. Anyways, so that I'm going to go and show what a pro I was. I'm going to show you my 2 commercials. And by commercials, I really mean interviews, but commercials, it's a longer word. It has more syllables in it, so it sounds better. And that's what politicians do. I had 2 campaign interviews of things I was going to do. And then the third one was going to be my knockout winner, which I just gave to you guys on the show instead, which is fine. But I'm going to just go ahead and show you my 2 campaign interviews of what I originally was going to do. And, this brought a lot of media attention, of course. And, but it didn't come to fruition because I couldn't beat past the loopholes. So without further ado, the rest of this episode, I am simply going to show my audience of all organisms all around the universe that are watching my previous campaign interviews. Okay. And then after that, I'll be signing off. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day, whatever that date is. Okay.
My fellow Americans, I've decided I'm going to give myself a run in the campaign to be the next president of the United States. Now, I have a speech I've got prepared here, and I'm going to tell every change that I am going to make sure gets done in this country. And I'm going to raise some serious, glaring issues. Now, first of all, I'd like to make mention that I am going to be under the Independent Party. And I can tell you exactly why. Now, you see these. Now, this is the Democrats. This is their symbol. And, I've analyzed this. And this tells me that they're a bunch of jackasses. And this represents the Republican Party. And after further analyzation of this, what I have come to conclude is that whenever there is a real big problem, what the Republicans do is they're afraid to address the elephant in the room. So I am here to serve the people. I will be an independent party, and I will make the best decisions for this country. Okay. Now, excuse me, I have a cold. Pardon me. All right, the first thing I'm going to address is I'm going to make a new list of terrorists that I think need to be brought into justice in this country. And lots of criminal lawsuits have been filed, and I've taken state tort actions against them for trespassing in the court of law. Now, these would include the following: spiders, ants, mosquitoes, vermin, rodents, etc. I'm going to put them on I've already updated the FBI's most wanted site. The number 1 right now is Charlotte. This would be Charlotte, the spider. Charlotte has not only violated many terms of our Constitution and Bill of Rights, but has trespassed in numerous households across the great nation, and I intend to put a stop to that. And in fact, I am actually going to ban them from the country for war crimes. They are going to be dealt with by the exterminators, and the Border Patrol are going to join forces, be a one cohesive unit, and all correspondence will be done and handled through the same medium. None of these criminals found guilty in a fair trial can be amicus curiae for habeas corpus either. That is dead. Okay? I know this sounds silly, folks, but I really do have a cold. Now, back to what I was talking about with these issues. The next thing I want to address that I'm going to change for this great nation is I've been seeing these commercials for farmers insurance for some time now. They even have themselves a jingle. Seems to be very popular. And I have sought this for many months now. And I have hired private investigators, all of like mind, who concluded the following: this does not help farmers. I know that may sound very displeasing, but you know what? They have concluded that, you know what this insurance can do? It can help your automobile, but it does not, in fact, help the farmer farmers in the least bit. In fact, you might be surprised to find there isn't even a mention of a tractor in their insurance plans. Can you believe this? Yeah, this does not help the farmers in the least bit. I intend to make changes to this so that the farmers will truly be served. Instead, all they get is help with their cars. That is not going to help the farmers in the least bit. And not only that, no crops? They don't mention crops anything into this. I mean, what is a farmer to do if the crops aren't growing? They're not sufficing with the properly, and they need to get their money from it. Not only that, but udder failures, and I'm talking about a cow, like udder, the cow's milk is not processed. Udder failures is what I should call it. So as I mentioned, all the aforementioned claims of cars with no crops, tractors, and udder failures, these things are not being addressed. I mean, a car is covered, but the other things are not, and I intend to change that. So the farmer's insurance will actually help the farmers besides just their automobile. So I'm going to change that up. All right. Now the next thing I intend to do for our great country, I'm going to make internet troll insurance, because there's nothing worse than a troll on the internet. It's very unfortunate when you want to make a sad post about a funeral that you just attended, and then somebody just has to put up a meme that has a picture of Bugs Bunny and it says "cool story, bro." These things need to stop. I've had enough of it. So I am going to intend to basically put memes prevention in a firewall, and the best thing about this is it doesn't matter what your post's intentions were if you have this firewall. It could be, like I just said, a sad memoir, like a funeral post, or it could be hateful diatribes of today's musical artists, anything that you want, and it'll prevent the trolls from doing what they do. And guilty parties' communications would be blocked with no allocation of violating the Fourth Amendment for searches and seizures, and no use of violating our Constitution for posse comitatus. That will not happen to you trollers out there. Simply, communications will be blocked from the person that, or should I say, the intended target for your laughter. And no causal nexus required. We don't need to prove this in court. This is just, if you get caught memeing, you're blocked, and our firewall should take care of it before it happens for the most part. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to address is I am going to allow swearing in mainstream news outlets. Now, this is not what you think. You see, I hear swearing on the news sometimes. They call them bloopers, and it happens all the time. And I think I almost lost my lunch. Oh, actually, okay. There's my sandwich. Okay. But, no, as I was saying, it really disturbed me when I see on the news they swear. And, the news is intended for anybody to see of any age. So the thing that I have a problem with is nothing really happens when they get caught swearing. Nothing that I've seen. So, therefore, what I'm going to do is, if you choose to swear on a mainstream news outlet, the level of vulgarity for your profanity that you've chosen to use is going to be a pay cut out of you. Out of that paycheck for that particular news anchor, and it's going to be placed in your name in a check to very offensive racist groups in the United States. Because I feel as though if you can say a bad word on a news channel that's meant for all ages, then you are not helping the problem. So, yeah, your pay in part will be sent to other offensive organizations, racist organizations in the United States, mainly the IRS. And so that is how I will take care of that problem, because We want it to be clean news. We don't want any problems in there. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I am going to add a new day of the week. And it is going to take place between Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what I'm going to call this day yet. And I would like to ask the people, because I care about the people. I'd like the people to help me think of a name that this day should be called. And on this particular day, I'm going to have it so that most people will not have to work on this day. However, any employees that do end up working on this day, such as jobs that need everyday services to provide, they will get mandatory by law overtime pay for this day. And any employer's ineptitude will result in taxation of their respected company or service. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is I have a new bill, folks, that I am just waiting to pass. As soon as I get elected, you better believe I'm going to get this bill passed with your support. And it is going to bring the yearly deaths in our nation down to 0. As soon as it passes, that is what is going to happen. And a lot of debates have gone on about this since I brought it up in the National Convention. Somebody asked me, well, how in the world is this even possible, Adam? And I explained how, that this bill is going to make this happen. It's going to stop all the deaths from going on. And on top of that, I added in my own little side package into this bill, and it's going to make every decade that you live equals a percentage of knockoff price for your casket and funeral discount. So 10%, 10 years, if you live 50, it's 50% off, just to, get people to stop trying to die. I think that would be a nice little thing to put it. And then in that particular debate, they told me that they were asking a rhetorical question about the bill. Well, I take every question seriously, so I made sure to let the gentleman know that I gave him a rhetorical answer. Thank you for your time. Ladies and gentlemen of our great nation, I'd just like to make an update on my presidential campaign and how it's been going, just to keep you guys informed, because I care about you. So I have just learned that I've been told I have to be at least 35 to run for president. A very big disappointment. I mean, I have a lot of accolades, and I feel like I could run this nation very well. However, I believe that it was your credit score had to be 35 or your IQ or something. I did not realize that it was the age. And, I tried talking to the city council about this and seeing if there was some kind of a loophole I could get, to run this country the age that I am at this moment. And, I'm kind of confused by their response. Yeah, they let me know that their feeling was that I was a dumb bass. And I said, dumb bass? It just kind of confused me because, I'm a mammal. I am not an amphibian. I'm not a fish. So, and if I was a fish, I feel like I'd be more like a trout or something. I mean, a bass has more, bigger gills and stuff, and so I just, it kind of bothered me. And, it just, how do you test the IQ of a fish? So I was very confused by the city council statement. So, I went to the doctor and I asked them if they could give me a test to find out what species I was for sure. And they said there was no need to do that. They knew upon just the sight that I am a mammal. And so, that was good. And then, ironically, they wanted to get an IQ test out of me after that, But I can no longer run for president. I would love to have served you guys, so I guess you can't write my name on the ballot. But I would have loved to run for you guys, maybe pretty soon. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the great nation, I am here to address that I still have not found a loophole for how I will be able to run for president. However, I am still going to go over bills and such and changes I'd like to make. Anyways, so let's move forward amicably. The first thing I would like to address is I am tired of misleading coupons. I think this has become a serious issue here. Especially one where people don't always cut along the dotted lines of these coupons along their borders, and then their intentions become clear to rob or defame the coupon in such a way that is evil. And a clear example of this is a vehicle such as a Jeep. Buy one, get one free. Buy one Jeep, get one free, and then the rest it's cut out, and you assume it's another car. However, if you read the actual coupon, it might say something such as buy one Jeep, get one free oil change. And you can see the malicious intentions there. And so that has become a problem. And however, that gave me a great idea. I think cars and houses should have coupons that are available. And I think if you have a buy one, get one free house or car, or buy one, get one half off, or buy one, get one 20% off, I think it would really help the economy. It'd be booming economy if this was the case, and I intend to make it that way. I mean, can you imagine people's credit scores if you're making two payments on two vehicles or two houses or such? I think that this would be great, and it'd be much easier to get a job this way. And I think the credit scores would go through the roof, assuming that you print out the number with a decent-sized font and you have an adequate amount of ink and paper, and assuming paper can penetrate the roof I'm referring to. And basically, the credit scores should go up vastly. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is, you see how hard children work on their lemonade stands, and it really gets my eye tearing. Not tearing, tearing. This eye is fake. I lost the real one doing the ice bucket challenge. I misunderstood the rules and regulations. But however, my point is just, I think with as hard as they work on the labor on these lemonade stands, they should be able to get, their parents should get a tax deduction for doing this. And I intend to make that happen. The next thing is, recent polls have shown that people with astigmatism or eye problems, they complain that it's so expensive to get these prescription glasses and equipment. And the recent polls have shown that most of them complain about these prices because they only need them for driving. They mostly use them in their car and no other various activities. And people are really incognizant to this information. And so what I intend to do is make it so for a small added fee, you can get prescription windshields for your cars, and this will help solve that problem. However, make sure the driver makes that aware to everyone that else who would want to borrow the car, that the windshield will be for prescription eyes only for that person's use. The next problem I've came across, and I am very surprised to tell you this, and it's because it is a fundamental flaw in the grading system, and so many academic scholars out there. I am surprised that this did not become apparent, and I'm the first one to notice this. It's probably due to my expertise in linguistics. I know applied linguistics, sociolinguistics, psycholinguistics, computational linguistics, phonetics, syntax, all these various things, and it just bothers me. And at least I found this out, though. That's the important thing. The bottom line is, the alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, and they've taken out the letter E and gone straight to F, which is a big flaw, because therefore you can get an F, a failing grade. And it's been shown in studies that the highest percentile of failing grades for students is an F. And that would be harder to get to a failing grade if there was an E before it, which is how the alphabet is displayed. Therefore, I'm going to fix this problem. Grades will be easier to obtain good ones. If you're a C student, it would look a lot better on transcript this way, and GPAs would go up for the most part. It'd be harder to fail classes, so there you go. I'm going to change that for you. The next thing I'm going to do is, I've noticed in grocery stores they have a lot of great value brand foods and such items where you have like Oreos for $4, and then you have cream cookies. Cub Foods is great value for maybe $2.50, and I think, okay, it's almost as good, but it's cheaper, which is the point. And I think I'm going to apply this to cinema. So movies will now get this. Like, for example, you get a movie like Bad Boys, and that's like $20, and now we'll do one for the great value, and it'll be called something like Bad Guys, and it will, instead of starring the great Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, it'll star a cheaper cast, less great at acting cast, such as the Wayans brothers, and it'll have 10% less blood, it'll be $4 cheaper, and so it's almost the same movie, but definitely not as good. And another example of this would be like, instead of Mean Girls, we could call one maybe Rude Women, Cruel Women, or something. And instead of Lindsay Lohan and the others, it could be like Nicole Richie and her hairdressers or something. And it would be maybe like 20 minutes shorter, but basically the same storyline, and significantly cheaper. Maybe a whole 10%, which equate to like $1 or something cheaper. I think this would be a good idea to help out the economy. Next, I think commercials have become bothersome, not just because they're bad, but because there's so many. I think what I'll do here is I'll be in cooperation with the cable companies, and if depending on how much you want to pay for your cable, you can pay to make it either where it is now, or B, where your program will go, and then the remainder of that half-hour mark will be filled with commercials nonstop. Or the most expensive plan would be that you can eliminate commercials completely. And I think there shouldn't be any problem with this. I think this should have been done a long time ago. And this will solve that issue indefinitely. And it'll make more money for the cable companies, so it'll help with employment and such. That is what I've gotten for that, my ideas. Now I'd like to address another thing. People tell me, how am I qualified to run for president? And it just bothers me. I have a lot of accolades and credentials for this besides my age, being not 35 yet. Hoping someday I can become 35, or older to become president. And they tell me I need to do my research, and I tell them all the time that if I've searched once, I'm just not going to search again. It just doesn't make sense to me. If I've come to a conclusion, I don't understand that. People like to bring up bad things about me. I haven't paid taxes my whole life. No, but I have since I was 6. That is a good majority of my time that I've paid my taxes. Another thing is, I'm trained to perform CPR on any animal, not just humans. You get a problem, you get roadkill or something, I can be there. I can bring it back to life, most likely. I have this ability. I can do this. Anyways, I think one of the biggest things people really undermine when it comes to, they just don't give me my credit. I was born on election day, a presidential election day at that. I mean, people pretend that I'm just someone, but I can run this country. I can do a great job. Another thing is, I've been a chef for a long time, and I've never been involved in panhandling charges. I'm nothing, no panhandling charges on my record as a chef. And again, being a chef, I've never been involved in an oil spill scandal. just goes to show people just don't want to listen. It's just one of those things, but it's okay. Everybody does want to be president. I'm clearly qualified, though. And the biggest thing to me that I just wish people understand is the biggest thing is I can answer any question. That's right. And this has been debated actually recently. Somebody asked me, oh, what's the capital of Quebec? I said it's a city. And then they asked me, well, what's the population of Nebraska? I said it's a number. And then, can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen and other, that they dare insult my intelligence by then asking me after those questions? They ask me, how do I split an atom of uranium-235? I said, I mean, clearly, an atom of uranium-235 has an atomic mass of 92, therefore inexorably has 235 isotopes of protons. So all you need is to do the process of nuclear fission, which therefore you take a slow free-moving neutron and it will get inside of it, therefore releasing it as kinetic energy, breaking apart into 2 or 3 smaller atoms of uranium-235, and it will obviously release protons, therefore adjacent to it, that will be free-moving in the same matter through magnetic nature. I mean, my point is, I can answer any question. I'm very well qualified to run for you guys. So if I can find a loophole and get myself there, despite my age problem, please vote for me. Thank you.
I tried everything I could. I can't run for president anymore. Oh, I would have done great things. But you can't vote for me. Just remember the lessons I taught you guys. And when a politician steals my ideas, tell them they stole my ideas and my idea came first. Yeah. Anyways, all my listeners, organisms across the Vollis Galaxy and the Milky Way galaxy in the universe, have a great rest of your day, whatever date it is for you guys. And peace, love, and care. Take it easy. Not medium.